Hey, what's up everyone? This is Dave Cardello here, checking in from Denver, where I'll be starting my new job next week. So I guess we can say that this informational interview worked out pretty well. And this is take two. We're having actual weather, so lightning bolt actually made my power go out. So my informational meeting was with a man named Randy Dunton. It's my friend's father, who works as a PV system designer and project manager in Phoenix. I met his son working at the Algae Lab several years ago, and when I told him that I was interested in PV, which is photovoltaic solar energy, he said that I should meet his dad. So that sat on the back burner for several years, and then finally I reached out to Randy and said, hey, I'm Tristan's friend. I really want to learn more about the solar industry. Would you be willing to meet? And that came on the heels of another quote-unquote informational interview I had with my uncle who works in solar on the East Coast. And I expressed to him that I was interested in perhaps starting a solar business. And he said it might be a good idea to get in with a big company as a system designer just to learn that, understand how installs work, see how procurement, financing, sales, and everything works in a big company, and then strike out and try it on my own later. So I was looking to learn more about system design. Anyway, after a few emails with Randy, I went over to his house for dinner. His wife cooked an amazing dinner, and then we got down to talking about PV. So first, he showed me the system on his actual house. We climbed up onto the roof, and he gave me a hands-on tour of all the components of a residential PV system, talking about every bit to an appropriate level of detail for someone that's just getting an introduction, because he could have kept my brain full of information for so long it would have been ridiculous. So that was great. Then we went inside and he opened up the AutoCAD drawings. AutoCAD is a drafting software that's used in the industry to update plans to include solar panels that you hand off to installers for them to follow. So he showed me what I would need to know how to do in AutoCAD. He showed me the drawings. He also was able to give me a bunch of training materials. The certification for the PV industry for a designer or installer is called NABCEP, and he actually works as a NABCEP instructor. So I got about $1,500 worth of free instructional materials that I was able to study and learn from. And he recommended some other things as well, like he said I would definitely need to pick up a copy of the National Electric Code, and I would definitely need to pick up an industry standard textbook to study. So that was a really great informational interview. I learned a lot. It highlighted a lot of the gaps, knowledge gaps, information gaps I needed to fill if I wanted to move in that direction, because I didn't really have any background in solar other than a couple of classes I took at ASU. So that was perfect. In parallel with that informational interview, I also got in touch with an old friend who worked at the Algae Lab. Algae Lab was good for something, actually. Who graduated and got a job as a system designer at the company I'm going to be working for in Colorado. So I also called him to have an informational interview before I knew they were hiring or anything, just to see, hey man, do you like it? What's it like? What do you do? So on and so forth. And at the end of that conversation, he actually told me that they were hiring and I should apply, and so I did. The rest is history. So yeah, that's that. I hope that helps you all. It's probably nothing that you guys don't know how to do yourselves, but good luck. It's been great being in the School of Sustainability and getting to meet several of you, and I wish you all the best.